To access the clinical Flowsheets software, double-click on the CP Flowsheets icon, and you'll enter your same access and verify code. Click OK. The patient selection screen defaults to the ward that I had previously selected, which is 1 East. I'm going to bring up Mr. Thomas Robert Adams and click on Open. What comes up is the name of the flow sheet that I'm currently using, which is Training BC. In most situations, a facility will have several different types of flow sheets available for staff to select: a medical surgical flow sheet, an ICU flow sheet, a nursing home flow sheet, dependent upon the level of care delivered in a particular area. In this case, the Training BC flow sheet is the only one that is available. You can see this particular flow sheet has several different sections: an ADL section, intake, output, pain, and a skin assessment as well. A user can enter information into any or all of the particular sections. Right now, I'm going to enter data into the ADL section. You can see there was previously some information entered into here as well. The display interval defaults to every 4 hours, but it is possible to change that default for each section to a higher or lower amount of time interval. We're going to leave it at 4 hours, and I'm going to click on Add Data. Right now, what I'm going to do is change the time on this so that it reflects the time that I had delivered the care. I'm going to change the time down to 1:20 in the afternoon. I'm going to say the patient had a complete bath. They were up to the chair. And then I'd also like to add a comment in here. And I'm going to say the patient was confused. I'm going to then chart that the bowel sounds were normal and had 1 bowel movement, and I'm going to click on Save. You can see that the information that I just entered into this particular flow sheet is now reflected at the time I had changed it to, and the I indicates that there is a comment that's been entered in there. And you can see the comment that was entered was that the patient was confused. I'm now going to scroll down to the intake section. Again, there was some previous entries in here for today's date and time. I'm going to click on Add Data. I'm going to change the time for this demonstration, and I'm going to say the patient had 700 milliliters of PO intake, 250 of IV fluids, and I'm going to click on Save. And in this particular entry now, you can see that the intake and the output are now reflected in the totals column. So every time an entry is made into one of those columns, it automatically is added into the overall total. If I now wanted to create a progress note with the data from this particular flow sheet, I'm going to click on Reports in the middle of the flow sheet. I need to select which particular flow sheet that I would like to have put into a progress note. And I'm also going to select Include Comments because comments had been added into certain sections of the progress note. This gives a preview of what will be put into the progress note. If I just scroll to, I can scroll through to the last part of it. But if I'm all set with this, I'm going to click on Write a Note. And the pink section shows the information that was entered in by the flow sheet. I also, in this blank section here, have the ability to enter in some free text information. That the patient was confused. I'm going to enter my electronic signature code and click on Sign the Note. This means that the flow sheet progress note has been sent over to CPRS, and when we log on, if we were to log on to CPRS, that note would be available for review in there. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to log on to CPRS and show you that particular note. Again, my access and verify code. I'm going to select Mr. Adams. And I'm going to click on the Notes tab. And you can see here this flow sheet progress note that I had just written and sent to CPRS appears, and it's been signed by this particular student. So you can see how that information connects from one application to the other. If I minimize this window, we have flow sheets back again. And I can go back to the flow sheet and then enter more data if desired.